runs on addiction. Look at everything around you. Kids vaping, people's backs
Vaping? Ugh! I hate vaping. It's so weird, that's just crazy.
bent over distracted. Everybody isolating themselves from the nagging voice of consciousness.
Dude, I'm so scared what the Apple Vision Pro is gonna bring. People are gonna be walking around, not even looking at you, just interacting like online avatar. Like, it's gonna be insane.
With soundproofing headphones.
Jish.
Addicts on the streets struggling to stand. Bars and pubs filled with red-faced alcoholic droogs. Coffee shops everywhere.
A droog?
Where 4 shots of espresso per cup lines out of the door. Everybody addicted to the chemical preservatives, sugar and fat stuffed into the daily food of millions. Millions of young men trying to fill a
I started watching you. Good fucking shit, Jish. That's right, champ. I hate
Whole
vaping. Hell yeah, Scott. Listen, I've had an on and off battle with vaping for a long time, and definitely nicotine is bad for you.
connection through
straight
OnlyFans
edge.
and adult
That's the
content.
best way to be. Like, the best way to be is no substances at all.
Whilst GDP in the
No,
S&P
no,
500 might
like a
steadily be
love,
growing, the
bro.
West's economic trajectory is running on a toxic
Yeah, people don't realize nicotine really is an anxiety machine, and it is really hard to get off of too.
fuel, creating a brand new phenomenon known as the addiction economy, the future of the Western world.
We really do have an addiction economy.
What happens if this continues to spiral? Where do we go from here? Where everybody's counting their company points, subscriptions, getting their drip of
Dude, the
dopamine
amount
from
of fucking subscriptions nowadays, everything's a subscription. A video game you play, something you buy at the store. Dude, there's so many fucking subscriptions, and you don't realize, like, they're just slowly ticking your bank account. It's like death by 1,000, like, pin needles, you know what I mean?
gains throughout the day. What happens when for the
Reading
entire economy to
bedroom
function,
fun.
everybody has to be
My
addicted to
boy.
products, points, dings,
Try to
likes,
avoid it. No, and that's the best, Atlantis, that's the best way to live. That's the most W lifestyle.
vape hits, when everybody is
Drink,
constantly
though.
being
I don't think there's anything wrong with occasionally doing any of those things, but if you live on a day-to-day basis without them, like, there's not even a problem with, like, for example, when I was nicotine free, I'm not right now, but when I was, when I'd go out, if I went to a bar and had a drink and I got, tipsy, I'd smoke a cigarette and go home and not think about it again. But
psychologically targeted with chemicals,
clothing, yeah.
subconscious
Amazon.
manipulation, and our primal desires being controlled by
I
faceless
did when I was in
companies.
college.
What will
but
that
I'm not a
future
big drinker
entail?
anymore.
Well, this is the coming story of the West, and it's something we need to
Poured myself another Monster, good. Is my best friend or boyfriend, good. Listen, guys, porn is the worst addiction. Listen, quitting porn, it would be the biggest thing that's ever happened to you. It'll save your brain and it'll save you so much.
be paying far more attention to. Which is why in this video you're gonna soon realize that everything in your life, in all of your friends and family's lives, is slowly just becoming another part of the addiction economy. This is a brand new phenomenon, and we're gonna explore the future implications of this in the very near future, as this will soon be one of the major coming concerns for humanity. To understand why, we need to understand what is actually driving the addiction economy in the first place.
Like, if you can't help it and you gotta fap it, just don't watch porn and just fap it to, like, a really good memory.
Historian David Corwright coined the term limbic capitalism. This was an early version of the idea of the addiction economy, as limbic capitalism refers to economic practices that target the brain's limbic system, which governs pleasure
Exactly. Dude, exactly. You can't even get on TikTok now. Bro, why is it so hard to scroll into the TikTok store, but then to scroll back, like, you know how you accidentally scroll into the TikTok? Yeah, dude, Lambo, anything you want to do, bro, will help me out immensely, so I appreciate anything. But now you go on TikTok, bro, and like the TikTok store is so annoying. I sometimes actually scroll into it and it's like, congratulations, you have won. It's like bing 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 bing, and I click off, it's like another ad pops up. Are you sure you want to go back to scrolling? Another ad. And it's like bro, it's insane. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Twitter. There's like all these, like, it just wants you to buy shit. Oh yeah, and then Instagram's a subscription now. Twitter's a subscription now. TikTok has a subscription service. There's a subscription on everything. The only subscription service that is actually worth it is subscribing to cynicalul on Twitch.
You see, addiction,
bro, how much is in the whole bank?
Isn't limited to chemical substances. Behavioral addictions, such as those seen in gambling, gaming, and social media use.
You having a Twitter subscription? Well, I need it. As like a creator, it helps me. Use a Spotify
reward system. Yes,
Spotify, yeah.
This is basic stuff.
If I wasn't making content on Twitter, the hard bar. I mean, bro, like I said, I fucking love you, man. I appreciate all the blessings you give me. If anything helps. But if I wasn't a creator, I wouldn't have Twitter Plus. For sure.
And we're all pretty aware of this at this point. And people started to
What up,
realize
Bam Bam?
that if they can create products and experiences designed to hook users through constant repeated short bursts of dopamine, you would make far more money in the long run than just a single standalone purchase. That's why companies in the last decade are doing everything they can to get you on some form of subscription.
Real.
To
Every store you walk into and buy something, like, you want to sign up for our subscription service?
ensure ongoing consumption and money for the business. And the tactics
Watching a
they often
YouTube
use,
video.
such as persuasive design and targeted marketing, actually replicate some psychological techniques used on animals to train and domesticate.
Lambo's been dropping big bands on me since I've known him, bro. That's just Lambo.
And we can
I've known Lambo for like almost a year and a half now, bro. I don't know. I don't remember his biggest, but he's dropped some big things.
see this really clearly in the tech industry, as
Like,
social media
Baller. No, he is, bro.
platforms like Instagram and TikTok are quintessential examples of the addiction economy at work.
TikTok is so bad for your brain.
As users spend increasing amounts of time on these platforms, they become addicted to the attention and dopamine rush that come from likes, comments, and shares. This constant feedback loop fosters a reliance on external validation,
It
which is
really
of course
does.
highly addictive, and probably almost everybody watching this has experienced it at least once in their life. However, this attention-seeking behavior, whilst rewarding in the digital realm, can be really toxic in real life. In real-world interactions, the same behaviors encouraged by social media can lead to shallow relationships and an unwillingness to
It really has. Social media has made everyone so shallow. You get in an argument with a friend, they're not your friend anymore. No one can understand that you're a real life person. Yeah, be safe. And for this reason, listen. I don't consider, and this might sound crazy, I don't consider Discord or the community social media, because I consider it a community of friends. So like, the content we make here is for enjoyment. It's not to push an agenda. It's not to touch any dopamine. It's just to create a safe community of people who can meet up, spend time together, know they're safe and accepted. And the goal is just to laugh and, find some happiness. I just wanted
accept other
sunshine.
people's imperfections. People begin to judge and value others based on the superficial criteria used by platforms like Instagram based on appearance and status. This shift in focus
Real.
towards self-promotion comes at the expense of genuine connections with others
And you always have my vampy.
and a broader awareness of the world around them. Alongside these traits, other characteristics of narcissism, such as arrogance and a victim complex, start to manifest. And we see this on a cultural and societal level. We see it everywhere in the media all the time. Celebrities who are victims,
Is that Kim
arrogance
Kardashian?
everywhere, people who think they know everything. And this addiction to online validation explains why so many influencers and celebrities, billionaires, crypto bros, all of these people appear so self-absorbed and
Damn. Chat, do you think that slap was staged? To this day, I don't know if they did that for the ratings or not.
oblivious to their own actions.
Like, the slap doesn't look real.
Crypto bros, all of these people
The
appear so
validation.
self-absorbed and oblivious to their own actions.
I hate
A classic
crypto
example
bros,
is when
Def
influencers get
Not.
upset when they try and quote-unquote prank someone in public spaces. The addiction economy goes far beyond this stuff in social media, as beneath the surface of all these algorithms and social media companies lies a razor and blade business model. This is the idea.
Isn't it crazy that TikTok and other social media apps, their algorithms and AI are targeted to trip your dopamine sensors in a way of, oh, I really like this post, whether it's a hot girl, depending on what you like, or, a gun if you're into guns, or sports, or drag race, whatever it is. And then the next post will be a friend, family member, or maybe a post that's not as interesting. And then in another 2 posts, it'll be a video, and then another really interesting post. And it's designed exactly so that the brain can't break out of a cycle as it scrolls. Isn't that crazy?
where initial products are sold at a loss or
And it gets you into this, oh, just one more scroll. Oh, let me just keep scrolling another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you just scroll your life away and run.
low margin to secure long-term profit from consumers.
And like it's literally, that's a fact. It's like they don't want you to get off the app.
It's basically how companies make you dependent on their products. In the tech world, companies run on a loss for years, all relying on
That's
investor
me
money
too.
until they have you.
It gets us all. Always you dropping the knowledge, especially when you're about to talk about something and it pops
So
up
sucked
real.
in that you have no choice but to give in to using their algorithm all the time. And so they can then charge the prices knowing that you're so addicted, you will pay no matter what. And if it's not prices, it's collecting your
God,
data,
man. I mean, bro, like sometimes I have to break out.
exploiting you, or
Milky
making you
Soup
more
so good,
addicted to their
Rose.
algorithms with things like
Don't
Instagram
say super on Turk. He didn't get his earlier.
Reels and YouTube Shorts. This is how they suck you in. But before, this used to be kind of contained just to the tech industry. But now this is emerging throughout the entire economy. From From printing cartridges to coffee pods, Adobe, Spotify.
Yeah, dude. Like, why is my editing software I have? Why am I buying? Why is it a monthly subscription for my editing software? Why can't I just fucking buy it? The editing software I use is like $10 a month.
Hilton Hotels, McDonald's. These are all using limbic
Yeah, and now Benzo is caught up on this McDonald's subscription app thing.
capitalism, as they're all trying to transform your one-time
that's so
purchase into
stupid.
ongoing
The day was very expensive, but I mean, still just buying it once.
revenue streams through
Subscription, to be honest. Like, for example, the editing software now, like Adobe's like $150. It's not a
points,
subscription.
rewards.
The points and reward system. Ben's like, well, I can get a free burger, blah, 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 blah.
Boosts and short bursts of
Bro, Ben is a McDonald's fiend.
dopamine. While they offer
On the app, bro, he's been begging me on the app, but I'm just like, bro, if I save too much money, I'll eat there too much.
convenience and access to a wide range of products, all of these chains, all of these giant brands are making you dependent on their services. And then it becomes almost impossible to switch because you've already gained so much trust with that company, you've given over so much of your information, so much of your money, your time, your
so good.
data, your
Choose my code so I get points. Everyone, let's log into Ben's McDonald's app and so we get Ben a bunch of free McDonald's. Keep us at home.
Points that it's almost impossible to leave. The muscle memory and habitual nature of all of these services creates a psychological dependency on their
Yo, Jason! Thanks for the raid. Welcome in, brother.
products. It could be Hilton Hotel points, British Airways points, McDonald's points, Instagram likes, literally anything these days. Everything and anything is constantly pushing you to be addicted to their product.
For real.
I mean, how many subscriptions do you actually have at this point? It's
I don't even know, chat. I probably have upwards of at least 8 subscriptions.
probably accrued so much over time that you've actually lost count.
No, real.
I mean, the average person in America now spends $273 a month on
Just subscription services?
just subscriptions alone.
The average. That's insane.
And yet at the same time, less than 1/3 of Americans could afford a $1,000
That's crazy. 50% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency without relying on credit cards for unexpected expenses. I mean, bro, I'm one of those Americans, but that's fucking insane, bro. Yeah, bro, our parents grew up in such an easier world than us, dude. Our economy is so fucked, chat. Dude, this is this from 2012 to now. This will be the last 50 years of financially like livable situation, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it is getting so bad. Everything is getting so expensive. Everything's down to penny. Everything is literally check to check. It is getting so bad, bro. And you can't fucking do anything. It's crazy.
emergency expense.
And rent, bro. Dude. Dude, as bad as this is, bro, rent keeps going up. It does not make sense. Economics class, like, it keeps going up. And it's like, dude, how can they fucking do this to people, bro? Like, dude, the government's gotta step in, bro. We gotta get these. I don't know. Mine just went $20, bro. But I remember one time they were like, "Yo, everyone, rent's going up $400 next lease, blah blah blah. You can either stay or get the fuck out." How can they do this to us for real, bro? This past month, my rent was based 6 years ago. No, everybody's gonna need a roommate or several roommates to live for one bedroom. It's crazy, bro. Biden, if you're fucking listening to this, bro, help us out, homie.
Without going into debt. And this is where things start to get really
It's cruel and unusual. You realize if more people had like good living conditions and weren't like, you know, like dying to pay their landlords, more money would go in the economy. They could buy more services. They could travel. They could do more.
interesting.
Biden's eeping, bro, for real. For real. I feel like, bro, America helps everybody but Americans. Like, your everyday American, bro. Like, I'm so sick of this shit, bro. Dang, I pay $840. I could never afford to move out exactly. Like, they want to help out the super fucking rich people, the super fucking homeless people, but like, Jesus. What up, Sammy? Like, they don't want to fucking help out this shit. Like people who are trying to work hard for a living paycheck to paycheck. Like, we don't see shit. Trying to get out of here.
Because when you peel back the layers, you realize something else is going on here.
For everyone else. That's so real.
One of the worst things about the addiction economy is that the politicians who should be regulating this stuff are actually
Don't
profiting
support
from
us.
it. Just recently, Supreme Court Justice Alito sold Bud Light stock, then bought Coors
I'm already paying 18
during the boycott. And I
You and Britain are gonna move in with Judge Ben?
found this story thanks to Ground News, a website and app that is designed to students right percent from the right. Really great job on exact that are disproportionately the rest of prime, and they are around advantage plan. This goes, and what are the repercussions of us living in an addiction
back,
economy?
Sammy,
We need to
after
take a
chicken.
quick look at Las Vegas. A
1870.
petri dish shitty
Dude, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I'm literally gonna be here tomorrow.
that was one of the first to experiment with this kind of economy. You see, the Las Vegas of today is run pretty much by a small handful of companies that own all of the hotels and casinos on
Love
the
Vegas.
strip.
Las Vegas has its city limits that stop at
I mean, Ben lives in a pretty spacious house. 2-story house, 2-bedroom, full basement, kitchen, dining room, bathroom. So, the place Ben lives, he definitely gets a good price on it.
the beginning of the strip, Sahara Avenue.
With
Casino
draws.
operators
That place Ben lives in is probably $1,400 for your ad. Ben is actually a good price, but it's still, I know, like, a lot. But it's a good price in today's age. Every ad your stream plays, you get 6 cents. I remember reading it somewhere. Oh no, fuck no. Because if that was true, bro, I would make, you'd make so much money. At the end of the stream, it says how much money you make off ads, and I think in 3 streams, I might make 3 pennies. There's no casinos in Texas. Great price for a house. So, like, at the end of the month, it breaks up how much money you make from all your streams in a month, and I've never seen over $10 on ads, ever.
intentionally were outside
You get less than a penny, yeah.
the city. They didn't want to deal with city taxes and fees. Technically, when you're on the strip, you are literally in
The
paradise.
fuck, yeah.
These faceless giant companies are usually offshoots of investment funds or mega chains from New York that are doing everything humanly possible to addict and exploit anyone who arrives in the city. It's a
They're gonna addict and exploit me, chat.
giant billion-dollar industry. An industry of casinos, entertainment, hookers, drugs, and
Hookers?
alcohol.
I love gambling. Bro, I'm setting myself a limit on gambling. Like, unless I make some money while I'm there.
The
but
core of Las
I'm just gonna do it for a video.
Vegas is
Because, like, bro, honestly, I'm saving all my money for equipment. I'm saving all my money for, like, museums and travels and exploration. I'm doing more exploration and traveling and going to, like, really cool, like, amazing, pretty buildings. I just want to see the amazing casinos. I don't even want to gamble in them. I just want to go look at everything and walk around and explore it. I swear you will win. Bro, Vamp's trying to get my money. She's like, dude, just give me $50. I swear I'll win. Just come on, Sin. Bail me out. Come on, I promise I'll get it back to you. I get it, bro. She would never get my money back. That's a gambler. That's how you know that Vamp's an addicted gambler. That's what an addicted gambler would say. So nice. Let me take you to a spot, bro. I'm excited. Just once I get there tomorrow, I plan on reaching out to and you know figuring everything out as far as you know what goes down with all that. Company built those chairs. I'll try to check it out. I'm gonna try to see everything. One spin away from winning big. Now Vamp's an addict, bro. She's like, come on, Sin. You can trust me with your money.
gambling, an industry inherently linked to addiction. The design and operation of casinos in Las Vegas is meticulously crafted to maximize the time visitors spend gambling.
So if
thereby
I give you $1,000, Vamp, you're gonna bring me back 10K?
increasing the city's
Just one
revenue.
more spin.
Casinos pump extra oxygen in the building to keep you awake and keep you more alert.
Really? That's crazy.
And again, this is one of their mini tricks.
Bro, I'm gonna start doing that in my stream room. Pump extra oxygen in here. They win big. Just 5 she does the pressing buttons type.
To keep you gambling, to take more of your money.
Psychological manipulation plays a crucial role in this, as casinos are obviously designed to be immersive environments
there,
where
I'll
you lose
try.
complete track of time and become so engrossed in the gambling
never
experience
gambled
you don't
before.
realize how much money you've actually
I don't know how expensive all these casinos are, because some of these casinos you can't go in and spend $10, $20, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, $100 to fucking play some of this shit, so, like I said, gambling's gonna be very limited to me, because, like, gambling literally is just all spending money. Like I can't be going through money like that.
spend.
I know what it.
The
You
absence of
trust me, Vamp. Would you guys trust her with $1,000? No drop trust.
Clocks and windows create a sense of timelessness, encouraging you to play all day and night without ever realizing how long you've been sat.
You mean regular Russia with the
And the
cat? Wait, true, Alu. That I don't know. I didn't pick up on the for gambler. Bets add up. And I went crazy.
Use of lighting, colors, exciting sound
I don't know how to play blackjack.
effects creates this stimulating atmosphere that almost feels like a fairy tale.
Honestly, it's like straight up kill your.
Frequency was good, the bonuses were fun, the graphics are beautiful.
Osby really just doesn't like me. He's like, hey, son, why don't you play Russian roulette for me, bitch?
Line pays were good. Music, I mean, there's a lot of people are saying it's a great game.
All of this is psychological manipulation, and it's tested in laboratories
Turning
and on
rats
animals.
into gamblers.
Everything possible to addict you is being employed here. Even loyalty programs, where you can get various rewards such as free drinks and
does that
discounted
mean,
stays, as well as complimentary meals, all makes you want to gamble more and spend more money at these hotels. These perks create a false sense of achievement and incentivize repeat visits, something that's all too familiar in the rest of the economy. And by doing this, they foster a loyal customer base that continually returns to gamble in Vegas, making it the third most visited city in the US by tourists.
That's crazy. The third most visited city in the U.S. is Vegas.
And it not only increases the amount
The
of money
topic of
spent,
gambling, because we're watching a video about gambling. Dude, I love Atlantis, bro. She's just in her own world. Facing girls like, what are we talking about?
but also ensures a
The screen is just covered in Vegas, casino, gambling, talking about the video talking about gambling. We're all talking about gambling. Like, where did gambling come from?
steady stream of repeat customers. Each year, more and more is invested into
the
this.
table guy.
The floor plans are designed to be labyrinth, making it so easy to be lost in a maze of gambling tables. Everywhere you walk, all the hotels, shopping malls, everything you can think of is all connected by giant
Inflation.
hallways of casinos.
I mean, we
You're
were
always
earlier.
surrounded by the sights, sounds, the intrigue of the hotels, all the entertainment. Everything is there to keep you gambling. All the advanced algorithms, the psychological triggers, the intermittent reward systems
Earn 1 tier credit for every $5 you play on a real slot machine.
creates such a compelling cycle of addiction that most of these hotels are worth billions
Gambling
alone.
games.
Once you're
What up, mommy? I'm
in this
sorry.
disorientated, timeless, and dopamine-stimulated state of mind, the billion-dollar investment funds controlling this use all of their powers to unload a wave of other addictions at you at the same time to
users
keep you in this
entertainment.
unthinking
Girls direct to you call 24 hours? That's crazy. You just called up like, yo, deliver a girl to me? Vegas is insane.
stupor. From the minute you arrive at the airport, adverts for the biggest dispensaries in the world are
Ah! Let's go, weed.
shoved in your face. Brothels scattered around the city.
Damn, Chad.
And once you're actually in the strip itself, you're in one of the only areas in the whole of America where you can drink openly on the streets without issues.
That's insane.
So once all your primal
24/7. Bro. Tap in and test it out. Tap what? Test out who? Huh?
desires are satiated,
What are we talking
and you've been
about?
put into a drunken high stupor, you'll find yourself in the Venus flytrap that is the Strip. Bombarded with lights, mascots, icons, drugs, alcohol, and women, every single thing around you is
Otherwise, I just can't get it on the play.
designed to
Weed,
addict
let's
you.
go.
And once you're there, it's almost impossible to escape without spending a fortune. And of course, at the heart of this money-making machine is addiction. And it's working amazingly for Vegas. The economy there is booming. So what if you extrapolate this and
Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas.
implement it into every other facet of the wider economy? Well, this is what's happening today. You see, the reason Vegas is so economically successful for a handful of investors is exactly the same reason it's the model of addiction replicated in all industries. Just like I mentioned
It's kind of crazy is like in the United States we just have a giant city that's like thriving and booming off of degeneracy.
before, and as is done in Vegas, subscriptions and point systems are one of the best ways to addict you on a constant basis. For instance, if Netflix were to become a one-time purchase product, it would cost at least $2,000 for the basic ad-free plan. However, by spreading it monthly, it makes the service
Would
far
you
more
guys
palatable
rather
for
pay
consumers.
$2,000 one time or pay a subscription service?
Same with all the Apple
The
products,
Vegas,
same with
yeah.
cars, same with mortgages, everything's the
maybe
same
have
here.
ADHD.
And investors love this because it makes businesses easier to operate and scale. There's very little fluctuations in income, and this predictability
Damn.
allows companies to
2K
plan their
one
expenses more
time.
effectively and invest in
I
growth
mean, I
without
never
needing
really
to
have
keep large
2K
cash
one time pay
reserves
for
to weather
Netflix, but I
potential
would
downturns.
in
And this is
long
why Americans are spending more and more on services that were once done and dusted purchases. But there's a much more shady side to this addiction economy, and we can see the issues of this most clearly in the the vaping industrial complex.
Dude,
You see,
vaping is
e-cigarettes
so
and
bad
vapes were
for
originally
you.
invented to help those who smoke give up the habit, or at the least allow them a hit of
I know,
nicotine without
dude.
the damage
Juuls really were made for people who were quitting nicotine and for them to be able to get a hit every now and then to dull the buzz.
of smoking tobacco. But however good the
years.
initial intention, vaping soon became just another way of exploiting human addiction. As interest in sales of vaping products took off, vape manufacturers such as Juul Labs, Enjoy and Blue began offering a range of nicotine-containing products in various flavors and formulations. Big tobacco
Hurt my
companies such as
lungs.
Philip Morris International, British American Tobacco, and Japan Tobacco International all started to enter the market themselves, either through acquisitions, partnerships, or the development of their own vaping
There's
products.
so many different
So what started
vapes.
out as a mission to get people off addiction became a new multi-billion-dollar addicting industry, all designed with colors,
the vape
flavors,
industry
advertised
is
as a healthier
insane.
alternative, and oftentimes with far more nicotine, the substance that's actually getting you addicted in the first place. And a
Don't
perfect
forget about
example
that
of the
brand.
dangers
Those
of
are
this can be
gas.
seen with Josh Temple. You see, in the early 2010s, a young actor named Josh Temple realized he wasn't going to be an actor, but he was starting to see that the potentiality of states legalizing weed in America was becoming a real possibility, and he wanted to be at the heart of this boom. So he decided to venture into the weed business, founding his own company, Honeycut Labs.
I would love
And from
to grow my
2011
own
to
weed someday
2018,
if it's
Josh
legal.
Temple immersed himself in the THC vaping
Bars are
scene, learning
gas.
everything he could about the industry, and that was when he found the lucrative niche of THC cartridges. Realizing this was
Carts?
going to be a giant industry, Josh launched
He's
a
the
product
one who
early
got us
on that
addicted
would
to
become
carts.
infamous, the Honeycut diluting agent. You see, Honeycut's flagship product was a cutting agent designed to be mixed with THC oil and vape cartridges. It had no taste, no smell,
What the
and maintained the
fuck?
same viscosity
The
as
free
pure
carts is
THC oil,
crazy.
making it indistinguishable from the real thing,
Carts are
primarily
lit.
being made from vitamin E acetate. It was great because you could dilute THC oil and increase profit significantly with this new agent. And so by 2019, with the legalization of
Damn.
cannabis, Josh's products were selling rapidly as demand for THC cartridges soared across the US.
Nah.
Competitors saw that success and began to flood
People
the market
love
with
carts.
this stuff, all using the same vitamin E acetate and vape
However that
cartridges.
means.
Little did anyone know how deadly this would truly be. In April 2019, hospitals in Illinois and Wisconsin started seeing a surge
Josh's
of young,
products.
otherwise healthy patients
Bro, I mean, technically, bro, you guys are kind of the same.
afflicted with severe lung
They blowing
injuries.
clouds,
These patients
something about
exhibited
Josh's.
symptoms such as chest pain, nausea, and shortness of breath. Nobody knew what this was, but suddenly the cases were piling up. However, they all had one thing in common. They were vaping frequently. So the CDC began investigating this mysterious illness taking over America. And that
Vape
was when they
Nation.
found that those using THC vape cartridges
Well,
were having their health
cancer,
destroyed by this THC agent, vitamin E acetate. Later that year, it got so bad that there were 2,800 reported cases and 68 deaths linked to this. As they saw when
Damn.
vaporized, this compound was causing severe respiratory issues, including lipoid pneumonia, a
Holy
condition where fat
shit.
particles enter the lungs. And that was when Josh Temple would realize the gravity of this entire situation,
That's
quickly leaving
insane.
Honeycut Labs and changing the company's registered address and recalling all his products back, shutting down everything and leaving the company as soon as possible. But despite this, the authorities were after him, and Andrew Cuomo, the
Nah, I'm
former
playing
governor
Red
of New
Dead
York,
tonight.
would issue a subpoena
In
for
about 40
Honeycut,
minutes.
demanding detailed information about the company's operations. And just like that, Josh
Well,
Temple
so
disappeared
fluff
from the
their
map,
babes.
and there's very little information
That's
about what happened
insane.
next. Nobody really knows what happened, or if he ever faced any legal consequences for this. But it started to show the dangers of the incentivization of weaponizing people's addictions against them. And Josh's
For
story
real,
is just the
bro.
tip of a giant iceberg. The
I
entire
mean, do you guys think that's bad? If like you see something people get addicted to, and you know people be addicted to it, and you make it a profit off their addictions.
vaping industry
I mean, somebody's gonna do it, so why not be you or whoever it is in the day? But like at the same time, like,
strategy to
should we? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a person's decision.
capitalize on nicotine addiction reflects a broader trend in which companies across all sectors are exploiting addictive psychology to ensure customer loyalty. Because from a business
It
perspective,
is what it is.
having an addicted
Business is
customer base
business.
is incredibly advantageous.
So you don't think the government or anybody should step in and be like, yo, you're exploiting people's addictions. You can't run a business like this. I mean, they kind of did with the flavored Juul pods there for a while, or at least I feel like they tried to with vapes and stuff. You remember all that bullshit, and they just kind of gave up.
And what's even better is an addictive population. As once you've made a population
It's conflicted.
dependent on you, you make sure you always have money coming in every single month. This reduces
Yeah.
customer acquisition costs and also increases lifetime customer value, making addiction a highly profitable strategy. And of course, like we've already mentioned, this is so prevalent in
care
almost
about us.
every
Fuck
industry,
me,
from
no.
vaping to gambling, social media, even hotels, everything. Every single brand is now doing this with points points, rewards, offers, subscriptions, getting millions upon millions to unknowingly fall into the addiction economy.
I mean, bro, business and the economy today is now so cutthroat. It used to be they wanted to give a good product, reward the customer, have something that would last for a long time, something you'd be proud of, this, that, or whatever, good experience. Now it's all about just sucking every last little penny they can out of you, while also spending as little as possible and producing, you know what I mean?
That the Western system seemingly relies on today. And the more and more dependent the population becomes, the easier it is for these companies to raise prices continually, allowing the market to always squeeze you dry, as all other alternatives get crushed by this. And if they're not economically destroying a population, they're also destroying them.
One day I think it'll be so expensive to go to the grocery store, you'll have to have like a grocery subscription.
Physically. For example, the food and drinks industry is estimated to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars in the US alone. While the provision of quality food in abundance throughout the year is one of the biggest life-changing achievements of modern society.
It costs more to eat healthy than it does to eat unhealthy. It's like way cheaper to eat junk food and terrible things for you than to eat healthy and clean.
The most profitable side of the business has come recently with the introduction of ultra-processed foods, which is pushing people to eat more and more and spend even more on food. Canned goods, packaged snacks, ready-to-eat meals, sugar-saturated cereals, GMO crops, Monsanto-owned seeds. The control of food by a handful of companies
has vegan too. I mean, it's expensive to be anything, but yeah, especially vegan.
Made the entire world reliant on just a few name brands.
It really is crazy how many brands these few brands own.
With the convenience they provide and the addictive formulas they put in their food, it's become just a normal part of life that people eat slop on a daily basis. Slop with ingredients people don't even know, but the convenience, palatability, and shelf stability has made this food cartel insanely powerful. And because they're so powerful, it's almost impossible for any researcher or scientist to get mainstream notice about the damage
they like their money
it's doing to the West. Time and time again, it's been shown that big food uses bogus science, pays off researchers, pays off the scientific community to lie about the dangers of foods, so that nobody's ever aware of how dangerous the addictive slop they're selling really is. Foods that contain a long list of additives, preservatives, flavorings, and other
I heard they're cloning food. They've been
artificial ingredients to enhance taste, texture, and appearance. High in
they literally have artificial bananas, artificial fruits and stuff.
Refined carbohydrates, added sugars, and
that ramen looks gas.
Healthy fats and sodium, while lacking all essential nutrients.
Failing though? No, bro. You've never seen people eat like artificial watermelon? Here, I'll show you the video.
Fiber, and other beneficial compounds found in whole foods. And the more often we eat these foods, the more we expect all food to be blissfully delicious, and reject the plainier taste and texture of old-fashioned real food. The stuff that's been demonized by the corrupted scientific community who's paid off by these big food companies. Even Edward Bernays was infamous for using propaganda against Americans to convince them that having bacon every day in the morning was a healthy,
I'll shout out for this.
Iconic American thing to
value. Dude, it's weird. Like when you I saw someone breaking the banana and it breaks like it's not like a banana breaking out. It's like fibery. It's like you can hear it go. Not like a fart noise. It wasn't like that. It's like it's a weird noise. I can't make it. Okay, never mind. I shouldn't try to make the noise. So you know what I mean? It was a weird noise. I was like, ugh. Weird shit going on. It almost I don't know. It was weird. It made a weird popping noise when the guy broke it.
All for the benefit of a few GMO, giant corporations in America profiting from the fact. And if
how did it sound? Yeah. Kind of like
was done almost
like a door creak. No, it was like it sounded like someone was ripping their jeans. Like
100 years ago, you can only imagine what they're doing today. I mean, almost everything in the shops these days is stuffed with ingredients that almost makes the food you're having completely unnatural. In fact, it's actually becoming harder and harder to eat healthy and just have food without all of these ingredients. And through trial and error, Big Food has discovered the ingredients that really appeal to us, the colors that strike out at kids. It's almost at a subconscious level at this point. They found that the right amount of emulsifiers produces an irresistible texture. They know that inverted fructose syrup really fires up the brain's sugar receptors. Modified food starch is used as a thickener, and hydrolyzed protein is used
even things that are marketed as healthy or you think are healthy, half the time aren't actually healthy.
Used as a flavor enhancer, making it seem that having chocolatey protein bars or things like Huel is somehow actually healthy. And unfortunately, many of the ingredients used are no longer recognized by the body as food. They are just chemicals that make us want to eat the product in which they've been put. So much of what we buy to eat is not necessary. It is just there to provide satisfaction and dopamine. Short bursts of it. Not long-term satisfaction of healthy living, but the short-term satisfaction of relieving an addiction. I mean, is it any wonder that people across the world are now starting to have the worst health in history? More and more people are obese. More are suffering from sicknesses, allergies, and overall food addiction. And as a result of this, hundreds of billions have been made for a select handful of giant food companies. But nothing is more devastating or evil in the addiction economy as the pharmaceutical addiction sweeping the streets across the states. Criminal cartels and legalized pharmaceutical cartels are spreading debilitating substances into the hearts of communities across America. In 1996, Purdue Pharma introduced OxyContin, a long-acting formulation of oxycodone. And Purdue would market OxyContin aggressively as a breakthrough treatment for chronic pain, claiming that its extended release formula reduced the risk of addiction and abuse.
Less than 1% of patients taking opioids actually become addicted.
However, Purdue did everything they could to down.
Bro, they said only 1% of our people got addicted to OxyContin. We know how that ended up.
Play the risks of addiction and minimize all concerns about the potential for misuse, which, as you could guess, contributing to widespread overprescribing and overuse of OxyContin. The widespread availability of prescription opioids like OxyContin led to a surge in opioid prescription and misuse in the United States. Millions upon millions became unknowingly addicted to opioids after being prescribed them for legitimate medical reasons. And as this became more and more common, soon these opioids were being illicitly sold on the streets, or through doctor shopping. It didn't take long for overdose deaths to skyrocket, leading to what is now recognized as the opioid epidemic. You can see it on the streets, poor homeless people freaking out on the streets. Quote-unquote zombies in places like Philadelphia and San Francisco. But the pharmaceutical companies, of course, made billions from this. But for an untold amount of patients, opioid treatment led to years of paying for a substance they didn't need and were addicted to. All the while, Big Pharma continues to market their products by bribing healthcare providers with financial incentives, leading to a huge overprescription of drugs and long-term use of short-term drugs. And not content with making billions of dollars from the opioids themselves, Big Pharma then also capitalized on the opioid epidemic by profiting.
That's not where they're. I agree they want people to be unhealthy, but that's not where they're gonna make their money.
From the treatment and recovery industry, creating the problem and then selling the solution. Because the more addicted you are to their substances, the more money they make, which they can then use to lobby the government with for more control.
I think the healthcare industry and pharmaceutical industry want people to be unhealthy, so they have to buy more medicine. But I don't think the government has anything to do with it. Because, like, at the end of the day, if you're on Medicare and Medicaid, you're getting assistance from the government, which is coming out of taxpayer money, which is less money for the government. Most of the drugs coming across the Mexican border are actually made in China before getting trafficked across. Really? The med's huge. I don't know. I think the government as a whole, I don't think the government would overall want a country to be unhealthy physically. But I think they would look the other way for, like, if they're getting paid off by corporations. Viruses to stay in business. Yeah, like, I would say it'd be a business or, like, big pharma, for example. I wouldn't say the government, because, like, I don't think the government benefits. Like, even if, like, people think that the government would benefit from, like, lots of, like, homeless people or just people don't participate in your society dying off, like, actually the less people you have is all of it, like, is an overall net negative. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's the government.
Control and power to push these addictions on the people. And it's not just opioids.
Big Parmesan.
It's Ritalin, Adderall. Anything you can think
Adderall
is being pushed on the American public to make
my Adderall days were a trip.
them more addicted to these pills.
How did OxyContin take over the marketplace? So originally Oxy was meant for people who were like terminally ill with cancer and were in severe pain, or somebody who's on the upper echelon of the pain threshold. And the goal of a company and a rep is to grow the market and to hit the number. And so,
I mean, they can charge what they want. I mean, who wouldn't pay for the kid to get an antivirus? I mean, they could charge whatever they want. Confused. What do you mean?
So when you go out, it's like, how do you grow the market? Well, we're going to grow the patient demographic. We're going to have to grow. We need the doctors to write more of this. So what they did with OxyContin was they went out and started. It got to a point where they were literally promoting it for people with migraines, and they were pumping these pain
vaccines. I mean, like, if you really want to talk about vaccines, like, I don't want to like bring one's head, but like, for any lay person who doesn't have any background and like stuff like that, vaccines are very complex and complicated. You're talking about millions and trillions of like antimicrobial bacterias and viruses and different things that are all connected, that are all formed differently scientifically in a lab. And I don't think that we can understand that. For example, like, people are so scared of vaccines, but like, if you just look into science, there's been thousands of vaccines that have literally saved millions of lives, and there's no like drama or this or this. I just think that the reason why like vaccines nowadays are so controversial is because like, like what this video is saying, everything is so like money marketed. How we're gonna make the most money off is the prettiest penny, and it's just so sketchy. Vaccines, devils, hands and everything. You know what I mean? Deductibles, yeah, but at the end of the day, they're not making money off those people. I think they should all be free. Like, at the end of the day, the government is gonna make the same amount of money, bro. Like, you pay taxes. That's where the government makes money from. It's only bad if you have an autoimmune disease. Put AIDS in the COVID vaccine, like the frogs. Am I right? Like for people who are like when people start talking about the vaccine and like, oh, this, like, who aren't like scientists, and like, bro, you realize like people who've like created vaccines, like anyone throughout history has been in the medical field, not for like 10 years. They're not just graduated college for 8 years. They've been doing it for 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, like in the top of the field research, like. And for anyone that has like 0 years of experience to speak on, I think it's pretty wild. Like, I don't know. It's fuck, I got the COVID vac. Now I'm gay. Freaking, I mean, I'm not like the biggest, like, I don't think you need to take every vaccine. I'll personally say that. Like, I don't think you need all of them. There you have it. Like, I've definitely skipped on certain vaccines, but I like science. But now I also like understand that like I'm nowhere near, not even close, don't even hold a torch or a flame to like someone who's in the school, even college for nursing, something like nursing. It's gay for the correlation.
pills into all these practices.
Rabies.
And today, this
Went
whole
pretty
process is
hard.
accelerating in every
bro,
industry.
like, the
Everything
chicken
from
pox
renting
shot, for
pods and
example.
never being able to afford property, to even delivery service
Like, bro, people used to die from chickenpox. Like, kids were dying from chickenpox.
subscriptions just to push your order ahead of others' orders. Even finding love has become a commodity. I mean,
Protect DC.
almost everyone is
We know how to get rid of cancer. It was just the profit margins, let it be out. I don't know about that conspiracy. I used to think that a lot, and I do think there are like more sustainable cure like processes to help cancer. I don't think chemo is probably the healthiest or best. I definitely think there are better ways. But like, if you look into like cancer, and I guess it depends on the type of cancer, it's literally fused to your cells and your genes at that point. So like, curing cancer, like, even like if you just think about it from like someone who's not educated, like, how do you do that? Because like, that's why people's cancer always comes back, because it'll forever be in you.
using dating apps these days.
So like, I think there could be a better solution than chemo to get rid of cancer and this, but the re-up for
find someone.
tetanus.
But the truth is, dating
You heard of CRISPR, yeah.
apps aren't
Yeah.
really meant to actually work. If they worked too quickly, they wouldn't make nearly as much money from the subscriptions. People would use them a few times.
Like what would be the shot to cure cancer? Because even if you have lung cancer, and let's say there's 2 people with lung cancer, same stage, sitting in the same room, like the genetic, the complex differences in their cancers would be insane. Like, they would have to create a unique genetic cure for each cancer that came up in each individual person, because no one's cancer is technically the same, if that makes sense.
Find someone meaningful and then delete their account. Instead, these apps do everything to keep people on the apps for as long as possible, addicting you to their service. At first, they bombard people with attention to make them feel wanted, giving them a huge dopamine surge, putting them at the top of the algorithm to increase their chances.
Meningitis.
They'll show you all
Meningitis.
All these beautiful people just waiting for you to have. But very quickly, they'll take away this honeymoon period, tightening the valve to make you purchase a subscription. It happens on every app, stringing you along with little dopamine bursts until they make you
I mean, I don't know if everyone has cancer in their body, because you can definitely get cancer from like outside forces, like asbestos, for example.
so desperate that you start spending money on the app itself, using your primal psychology to
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. If you have a dating app, delete that shit. If you spend money on a dating app, delete yourself. Like, I'm kidding, but still, like, guys, come on. Dating apps, I think, are the worst thing. Like, dating apps has destroyed our society in so many ways.
addict you to their services. All entertainment is the same thing. Nobody owns music, nobody owns movies anymore, it's all rented. And now even renting isn't enough. Even if you rent, you still have to watch forced
nobody
ads.
has like 200 movies anymore. Bro, honestly, watching ads on Netflix sounds like war. I'd rather go to war.
And have to pay
Club
extra
Penguin.
subscriptions to get away from these ads.
Yeah,
and God
I've
knows
never
what this is
used
going to
dating
look
app
like
either.
with the rise of
Ever.
AI. Only time
Never,
will
ever.
tell, but it is clear that every single thing is slowly being made into another facet of the addiction economy. And it's a horrible, worrying trend,
you're one of the
because the
last,
longer this
one of the
continues,
few.
the poorer the average person becomes, and the less sense of security you have in the world, because you don't own
Umi is like an
anything.
ancient
And so the more
scribe
aware we
keeping
become of this
history
coming
with all their
trend, the more
CDs.
we can fight back against it with our
I
wallets
just
and our
matched
voices.
with Ben. Ah! Still going. But I have like 200 likes on Tinder. I don't even know what that means, to be honest.